someone from another culture. We must cut this nonsense out. The latest person to fall victim to this is our young brother Michael Vick. Michael Vick was one of the greatest football players we've ever seen in our life, and his career was cut short simply because he had to stop and go to Leavenworth Federal Prison because he was hanging out with some poo butts. The real story is this: Michael Vick's cousin was followed by the Department of Drug Enforcement, and you know about the DEA, and his cousin, instead of taking away, snitched on Mike about dog fighting, and that's how the story goes. You know the rest. Mike gets arrested for dog fighting, abruptly puts a pause on his career, and Mike's career was never the same. Mike has gone to Leavenworth Federal Penitentiary. He's done his time, and you even had the state of Virginia coming after Mike for $70,000 in back taxes, which is an utter joke because he had luxury vehicles. This is a all-time joke and insult. It really pisses me off that Mike is being subjected to this, and now you have some jackass. Look, Mike has done his time. He's quote-unquote paid his debt to society, and look at what's happening to him. You had some jackass put out a petition so he could be honorary legend in the Pro Bowl. Whoever put this petition out, you really need to find some other shit to do. There are people, the buzzword of the day is human trafficking. I'm not taking it serious, but that's the new cause. Me Too, Black Lives Matter, children abducted, slavery, white slavery. If y'all don't know, that means pimping white women. There are a million, and that's a real term. I'm not kidding. That is on the books in Texas, on the books in California. If you pimp white women, it's called white slavery. And you can go to jail for 10 to 30 years. But allow me to digress. Some jackass took the time out of their lives to put together a petition and got 400,000 people to sign it so Michael Vick couldn't be an honorary captain. Simultaneously, the United States federal government only got 40,000 people to sign a petition for violence against women. So it's more important that your dog is safe from Michael Vick than it is your sister, aunt, cousin, wife, daughter, grandmother to be safe from predators. So please miss me when you try to tell me, oh no, it's not about race, it's not about culture. Because if it wasn't about race, you'd have been paying attention to something that was actually true, instead of trying to cyber lynch Michael Vick for a crime that he's already paid for. Please miss me with that nonsense. Please do. If you don't have nothing else to do, miss me. Which leads me to an even more absurd story. Janoris Jenkins, they call him Jack Rabbit. Current defensive back of the New Orleans Saints. Former defensive back of the New York Football Giants. Janoris Jenkins got into a spat on Twitter, and he told dude, "Shut up, retard." Now, for those who don't know, it's no longer PC to use the word retard, midget, and other words, other colloquialisms. It's not cool to do that anymore. Now, if you come from an urban culture, and I'm going to kick my man Shannon Sharp in the behind about this. If you come from an urban culture, we use terms like this loosely. It's almost a joke to use it. I understand. What we have to do, what we've gotten is immune to what is called a teaching moment. If I say something wrong and I say something that's offensive, all you have to do is address me appropriately and let me know what you said, HRap, is offensive, and I will apologize immediately. As a culture in the United States of America, we no longer do that. What we do is castigate people and throw them away. I was talking to a good friend last night about the cancel culture. We do this far too much. Let's get the hell away from cancel culture and start engaging and educating and enlightening people before we quote unquote cancel them. The Giants, in my opinion, are cowards because they folded to public pressure. Because this dude, and it was all because of mainstream media. If you go on YouTube and look up the Janoris Jenkins apology, this young man did apologize, and then somebody asked him, how does that make you feel? And he was like, it's just the term that we use in the hood. He wasn't excusing what he was saying, he was explaining why he said it. But the Giants, who probably want to get rid of him in the first place, they folded. And they cut the man for some straight garbage. I've told you guys 100 times at least. This is why these dudes need to get together and start leaving these teams. Because if you are going to get rid of me on a mistake, then okay, I understand if I said something like the F word or the N word. I get it. Or you make a racial slur or something of that nature. I get you wanting to distance yourself. But look, to use a word out of place, because there isn't history on the word retard. Nobody was getting hung. Nobody was being lynched. That wasn't a word to make someone feel bad. As a matter of fact, it was a legal term and a medical term when I grew up. You were retarded. So to act as if this word is equivalent to the F word or the N word is insane. It shows you how little respect they have for people in our community. I'm just going to be frank. Because every time somebody brings up pain, they want to compare it to the pain of my community. And up until and including the moment you show me a group of people who had their entire history erased, beat into submission, and then once you let them out of that submission partially, you create the United States federal government help finance the original Ku Klux Klan, help give landowners grants and reparations so they wouldn't fall behind in slavery, and then institute sharecropping. So me and my family have worked for 200 plus years for you for free, and now you introduce me to something that I'm in debt to the people that I work for free. And then you got redlining and such and other things. If you can show me all this happening to another culture on the face of the earth, then I'll accept it. Up until and including that moment, miss me with that bullshit. So Janoris Jenkins was out of work for a little while, and the Giants, look, you didn't want the man on your team anymore. You could have just benched him and called it a day, but you had to embarrass him in front of the world, which, if you ask me, the NFL Players Association, headed up by Seton Morris Smith, they should be filing a grievance against the Giants, because that's a joke. You cut the man, and you literally come in front of the news and say his apology wasn't good enough. What did you want him to say? He apologized. And according to some reporters who were there, Lance Meadows to be exact, the man had and Lance Meadows is, in my opinion, a low-key asshole. And when Lance Meadows sticks up for you, whoever defending you against, Lance Meadows is defending you against, you must really be an ass, because Lance Meadows is a clown. And when Lance Meadows is going, hey man, y'all going a little too far, I have to look at you, I have to give you the side eye, bro. Now hold it, Lance Meadows is sticking up for me? What the hell? What in the hell's going on when I got Lance Meadows rolling with me, man? That's how rough it is messing around with Lance Meadows. And he's sticking up for us, Janoris Jenkins. Look, I don't own the New York Football Giants. I'm not in the New York media. But I do understand when if you make a misstep, you shouldn't lose your job. You misspeak about something that, at the end of the day, this whole politically correct cycle is new. This entire politically correct cycle is new. So how are you holding these young men feet to the fire when it comes to something that's relatively new? You should be allowed to make a mistake. Jack Rabbit wasn't, but to hell with you, and then we're going to keep it moving. One of the saddest stories in the history of American sports is Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon has been suspended. He has been suspended for performance-enhancing drugs this time. Of course. Oh, let me go back to this Janoris Jenkins story. My man Shannon Sharp, I didn't like the way he came off on the story. Meaning this Janoris Jenkins thing. He jumped in Janoris' ass about saying the word retard. Shannon Sharp openly said he has a problem with people who say retard. And I think Brother Sharp got his emotions involved in regards to this. Again, I ain't gonna be on his ass like I would a Stephen A. Smith. But I just think big play Shannon Sharp, he needs to come back on air like he did once before and apologize to Jack Rabbit. But Jack Rabbit did apologize and he made an explanation, and Sharp only got half the story. So I ain't gonna really hold Sharp feet to the fire because his reputation is as such to whereas he shouldn't be, we shouldn't kick him in his ass like I would one Stephen A. Smith or one of those clowns. But I had to get that off my chest. Now to the next thing, Josh Gordon, man. Josh Gordon failed a test with PEDs, and he's suspected going in on a drug situation as well. This is one of the saddest stories in sports because this young man has been suspended 5 times for drugs. In the National Football League, he was suspended from the University of Baylor and suspended from, I think, a secondary school. I can't remember the other school he went to for marijuana use. This dude has a severe problem. He suffers from a disease that millions of people in the United States of America suffers from. It's easy to say he's stupid. He needs to just stop getting high. What's wrong with him? Those are the easy ways to take. But the reality of the situation is this young man is hurting in regards to something, and he needs the assistance of some entity that is bigger than the National Football League. He's only 28 years old, and it looks like his football career may be over because he can't stop using drugs. I feel sorry for this young dude. It really bothers me that he's suffering like this, and I hate it, man. So I'm sending prayers, positive vibes, and anything positive towards Josh Gordon. I'm not going to be on TV doing the get off the weed thing. I'm not going to do that. I feel sorry for him. Drugs have rocked a lot of our families, and so I'm empathetic when it comes to this. Whatever's bothering him, I hope Josh gets over it. God bless you, Josh, and hope you get better soon. People who know me know I'm a Raiders fan, and the Raiders blew it again, and I did all that talking in January about the instant replay rule will screw somebody. Guess who was screwed? Me. I said it's gonna burn one of y'all teams. I did all that talking, and guess what? It did burn one of y'all teams. My team. This week was the last week in Oakland for the Oakland Raiders. The Oakland Raiders almost won the game. From my understanding of the rules, when you slide, you give yourself up, and if you slide, you cannot be out of bounds. If Derek Carr ran towards the out of bounds line, they stopped the clock, and the Raiders eventually lost. The refs blew this call. HRap, well, at least my prediction was right. Who knew I was going to suffer from? Raiders lost their last home game. It's kind of sad because this is a team that's been in that stadium since 1966, 55 years, and it's sad, man. One of the greatest fan bases in the United States of America, and they knew they were leaving, and they are going to sadly miss the Oakland. Big ups to the Raiders for all the good years, and even these last 12 to 15 bad. 14 bad. Not even straight 14. It's been about 12 bad years, but it's way more good than bad. Big ups to the Raiders. They'll be in Vegas next year. They'll still be the Raiders, but they won't really be the Raiders in Vegas. They won't be the Black Hole Raiders. It would have been dope if they'd have won that last game. Derek Carr got booed rightfully because he is a BAUM bomb. But, man, it's cool. It goes down. I'm not a big fan of Drew Brees, but congratulations